Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Hari Om. Subodha Vedanta, written by Param Poojya Guruji, Swami Tejomayananda ji. Inquiry into spiritual practices. Worship. I saw that Krishna tells Arjun that these three should become lifelong practices and should not be given up as they are purifying. Yajnana tapak karma natyajyam karyameva tat yajnodhanam tapaschaiva pavanani manushinam. Worship of God with form, sagunopasana. Upasana means to sit near and imbibe the qualities of the one you sit near. A log of wood placed near fire dries and gets heated. When it lights up, it becomes of the nature of fire. As we worship the Lord, we too imbibe His divine qualities. This is seen in the life of great saints who were replete with divine virtues. Worship of the name, form, qualities, sports, and abode. Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, and Dhama is done through idol worship, Murti Puja, prayers, Prarthana, discourses, Katha, singing, Kirtana, and so on. And so on. Repetition of mantra, japa. This is the simpler and the most efficacious spiritual practice. We can repeat a mantra or just the name of God. This enables us to feel the presence of God, creates love in our heart, gives us strength, and calms our mind. Other spiritual practices. There are many other time-tested and effective spiritual practices like the practice of postures, asana, breath control, pranayama. Breath control, undertaking pilgrimages, tirtha yatra, reading the scriptures, parayana, study of scriptures, swadhyaya, visiting the temple, and so on. All these practices make the mind pure, subtle, and concentrated. These must be practiced with the right attitude, constantly and regularly. If the promised results are not achieved, that is, the mind becomes more distracted, indulgent, and filled with arrogance, anger, or greed, then there must be something wrong either in the attitude or in the practice. For example, some develop health problems without right guidance in the practice of Kundalini Yoga, or some advertise themselves as great donors. After explaining about the external means, the Guru again enumerates the internal or the direct means to realization. येनात्मदर्शनं भूयात् अन्तरङ्गं तदुच्यते श्रवणं मननं ध्यानं साक्षात्कारस्य साधनम्. Inner spiritual practice is that by which self-knowledge takes place. Listening, reflection on what is heard, and meditation are the means for this direct knowledge of the self. The direct shot, Antaranga sadhana, whilst practicing target shooting. The shooter first cleans, oils, and tests the rifle. Once the rifle is ready and loaded, he aims, steadies the rifle, concentrates, and shoots. Similarly, with the goal of self realization. The seeker first prepares the mind, thereafter, he is advised to listen to the scriptures, Shravana, reflect, Manana, and meditate, Nididhyasana, on the truth self explained in section 7, verse 3. These are the direct means or internal means, Antaranga sadhanas. However, as in the case of King Parikshit, if the seeker is well qualified with the fourfold qualifications, then listening itself will give liberation. Reflection on what is ascertained by listening is needed only for those who have doubts. Once the doubts are removed and the truth self or self is determined, the seeker is liberated. तत्वनिश्चयमात्रेण प्राज्ञो भवति निर्वृतः. In case our vasanas are strong, we need constant meditation till our knowledge becomes well rooted. But as in most of our cases, we have come to the doorstep of Vedanta without a well prepared mind. Therefore, we are advised to practice both the external and internal practices. Nothing, something, or anything. We now understand the importance of inquiry into the means and goals of the various spiritual practices. Doing something without the understanding may either lead us to nothing, something, or anything, but not the desired result. Once, a student of Ayurveda got impatient with the long years of study about the various herbs, their elaborate preparation into meditation, medicines, the methods of administering them for various diseases in different patients with different constitutions and their various results. He asked his guru for a thumb rule, quick fix solution. The guru, in jest, told him, take a root of any plant or tree, dry and powder it in any way, give it to any patient for any result from C to C, cough to cancer. Then what will happen? Anything can happen. If the patient gets cured, you take the credit. If nothing happens and he gets worse, then blame his fate. यस्य कस्य तरो मूलं येन केन केनापि धर्षितं यस्मै कस्मै प्रदातव्यं यद्वा तद्वा भविष्यति. Many starts some spiritual practices without proper guidance and understanding. Sometimes through a casual reading of a newspaper article or a TV program, or through a friend who was told something by her aunt. This either gives no result or sometimes an undesired result. This needed this indeed is one effect of Maya, which is a major obstacle that every seeker has to face. Crossing over Maya. Maya Santaranam. In India, we hear the word Maya in different contexts, both spiritual and worldly. What exactly is Maya? The next three verses throw light on this literary deluding type. दैवी हेषा गुणात्मिका प्रभुमाया दुरत्यया अहं ममेति रूपा सा मिथ्या भोग प्रलोभिका. The Lord's Maya is divine. It is made of the three gunas sattva, rajas, tamas and is difficult to cross over. It expresses I and mine and the craving for illusory material objects. Maya, the obstacle. It is said that many obstacles come when we embark on doing something good. Shreyansi Bahuvignani. No journey is without challenges. As per Murphy's law, if the going is too smooth, you are probably on the wrong track. All obstacles on the spiritual journey are grouped under the term Maya. What is Maya and how do we overcome it? Maya, the illusion. Maya is that which does not actually exist. Ya, ma, sa, Maya. But only seems to exist and is therefore an illusion. Since it is an illusion, everything created by it are also illusory, including the so called obstacles in our journey. But this knowledge of its illusory nature, does not help us to overcome the obstacles which we feel are real. Maya, his power, Mama Maya, the truth or self, which is of the nature of existence, is endowed with infinite power. Existence endowed with this infinite power, Maya, is called the Almighty and all capable Lord of the universe, Prabhu. Section 5, verse 3. The Lord is infinite and so is his power. Since the power belongs to him, it is located in him and it has no independent existence apart from him. He therefore has full control over Maya. It is presence of the Lord. Maya creates in the presence of the Lord. Maya creates, sustains, and destroys the world again and again. Mayadhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. Gita 9.10. Maya, the divine Devi, being the power of the Lord Deva, it is divine Devi Shakti. It is his divine power alone that acts through all the deities, devatas, who help govern the universe. The Lord being of the nature of consciousness, Deva, he manifests through the power of Maya as life and knowledge. Maya, the indescribable. Maya cannot be described or either as existence since it is an illusion, nor can it be said that it does not exist since we experience its effects like sorrow. It is indeed an indescribable wonder. Sannapya sannapyubhayatmikano भिन्नाप्य भिन्ना युभयात्मिकानो संगाप्यनङ्गायुभयात्मिकानो महाद्भुतानिर्वचनीयरूपा. विवेक चूड़ामणि 109th verse. It is indeed He, the unmanifest potential power, which cannot be known as it is. Maya, the directly known. Even though Maya is not different, its effects are experienced directly by all of us in the form of sufferings, cravings, frustrations, anger, helplessness, and so on, all of which are due to ignorance. The cause pervades the effects, so we can infer the cause through the effects. Someone remarked in jest that a man opens the door of the car for his wife, either if the car is new or if wife is new. The nature of Maya is inferred by its effects. Maya is indeed of the nature of beginningless ignorance, of the blissful self, Anadi Avidya. Maya is indicated through Shruti, Vedanta, the divine means Daivi, Yukti. Inferred through logic and Anubhuti, its effects are directly perceived. Maya's qualities. Maya constitutes of the three qualities of Sattva knowledge, Rajas activity, and Tamas inertia. Since the cause pervades the effects, they are seen in everything in the world. Rajoguna and Tamoguna, activity and inertia, creates obstacles, and Sattvaguna, knowledge, helps to overcome them. Tamoguna means inertia, has the power to veil the truth or self, avarana shakti. Thereafter, Rajoguna means activity, projects that which is not there, vikshepa shakti. And Sattvaguna through means knowledge through the power of distinguishing and analyzing viveka shakti helps us to unveil the reveal and reveals the truth, thereby destroying the projections. For example, because of tamas, inertia, we do not see the rope as the rope which is lying in the garden. Covering power, right? Veiling power, veiling power, projecting power, distinguishing power. For example, because of tamas, we do not see the rope as the rope which is lying in the garden. Then, due to rajas, we imagine that something to be a snake, and in fear run. On inquiry and understanding what that happened because of sattva, we see the rope for that what it is, and the snake vision disappears. As so also the fear created due to the snake vision. Maya difficult to overcome. Maya is very powerful. It causes contradictions, conflicts, and confusions. It is illusory, deceptive, and delusory. And it is persistent, consistent, and insistent. No wonder it is very difficult to overcome. For most of us, our sattva guna knowledge is dormant, weak, or pacifist, and buckles under the pressure of activity and inertia, rajas, and tamas. Like in a committee meeting, it says, please note my dissenting voice for what is worth to be to the proposal of an alcohol drinking being gay. Since you all do not agree, I will go along with the majority. Only when Sattva becomes assertive and strong, his knowledge, will we overcome Maya. Therefore, Sri Krishna tells Arjun, always remain in Sattva knowledge, a state of knowledge and inquiry. Nitya Sattvastho Bhava. Maya is like an intoxicant which prevents us from thinking straight. Many are drunk with power, money, or fame. Maya is like a web which is difficult to cut. Many are stuck in relationships, complexities of life, intricate business deals, and politicking or net of lies. Maya is like a magical spell which dilutes us into an illusory world. Many live in illusions and self projected notions of happiness, hatred, and love. Like the stubbornness of a child, Balahat, Hatha, Balahat, Hatha, the unending demands of a woman, Strihatha, Hatha, Balhatta, Strihatta, the unyielding ego of a man, Purushahatta, and the unreasonable commands of a king, Rajahatta. Maya persecutes all of us. Maya is I and my. The grossest expression of Maya that we experience is as the notion of I in the body and the notions of myness in all our possessions. We hear even children say, where is my iPhone? Even the king of heaven, Indra, is worried that someone may attack his kingdom. and snatch his throne. We see people unwilling to relinquish their window seat in a plane, worried about their pet dog's depression, hung on their pet projects, or proud of their opinions and prejudices. Sage Yajnavalkya was giving discourses on spiritual matters to an audience of renunciates which even included King Janaka, just outside the capital of Mithila. The renunciates prided themselves in their renunciation. The sage, through his yogic powers, created an illusion of fire. The renunciates fled to rescue their meager possessions from the fire. Realizing that the fire was an illusion, they returned to find that King Janaka was the only one still listening with rapt attention, distracted by his entire capital on fire. He alone had truly renounced all notions of Maya. Maya is temptation. Maya tempts us and enslaves us to illusory sense pleasures. We get hooked to everything that excites the senses, which seek gratification all the time. We salivate even as we watch chocolate ads on TV and binge on chips till the last bit is finished. These sense pleasures are illusory since they do not last, do not give what they promise, and leave us empty and craving for more. In fact, they become the cause for diseases and sorrow. सुखत क्रियते राम भोग पश्चादन्त शरीरे रोग दुःखयोनय एवते. Earlier Bhaja Govindam 28th verse and this Gita 5.22. Even advanced spiritual seekers are seen to fall prey to sense pleasures, even though they know its consequences. The enslaving power of Maya is further elaborated. Tartumimam ye gachanti yasyam te kilamajjanti katham taren naro mayam tatropayo guru prokta. Those who try to cross this Maya generally get drowned in it. Then how should one cross it? The means to do so are told by the Guru. Strong current of Maya. Even when the seeker puts his best effort to resist temptation, he gets carried away by its strong current. When he feels he has overcome the most alluring temptation and is about to reach the bank of the river of Maya, he is dragged back and carried away. For example, anger, attachment, pride, and so on wait on the slide lines and make a strong comeback, even as we think we have eschewed them for good. When we walk away from temptation, we usually leave behind a forwarding address. Since it is my fast today, I will not eat the kheer, but please leave some for me for tomorrow, said the man with a sweet tooth. Sri Krishna says, even though the pleasures leave the one who decides to abstain, the taste or attachment to them remains in one's mind. This craving only leaves one who has realized the Supreme. विषया विनिवर्तन्ते निराहारस्य देहिनः रसवर्जं रसोऽप्यस्य परं दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते. Gita 2.15. 59. Strong appeal of seeker. The seeker in helplessness prays to the Guru to show him a way out. I am being roasted in the blazing fire of samsara maya and being tossed around by cruel storms of misfortune, and I am terrified by its force. I surrender to you as I do not know of any other place of refuge. दुर्वार संसारदवाग्नितप्तं दोधूयमानं दुरदृष्टवातैः भीतं प्रपन्नं परिपाहि मृत्यो शरण्यमन्यद्यदहं न जाने. Vivek Chudamani 36. The Guru answers to the strong appeal by the seeker of how to cross over Maya. प्रभु कृपया ज्ञानेन शरणं गत्वा सर्वेषां स्वयं तीर्त्वा तारयति जनान् सर्वान् हि सज्जनः. Surrendering to the Lord by His grace and clear knowledge, wise men cross it, Maya, and also help all others to cross. Knowledge, Jnana. A mind dominated by sattva inquires and gains self-knowledge by which he crosses over Maya. A seeker who is well qualified listens to the scriptures, reflects and meditates, and is liberated from the clutches of Maya. These efforts naturally have to be blessed by God for any success. Grace, Krupa. Even those who are not qualified with the four virtues, Viveka, Vairagya, and so on, can realize the truth by the sheer grace of God. Shri Krishna says, to those who are ever connected with me and who worship me with love, I give them self-knowledge by which they attain me. तेषां सततयुक्तानां भजतां प्रीतिपूर्वकं ददामि बुद्धियोगन्तं येन मामुपयान्ति ते. Who is showered with such grace? Surrender, Sharana. God's grace is invoked through surrendering with faith and devotion. Therefore, Sri Krishna at the end of his discourses to Arjuna urges him to leave all other means and surrender to him alone. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Gita 18.66. Earlier 10.10. Lord Panduranga stands on a brick given by his devotee Pundalika at a temple on the banks of the river Bhima in Maharashtra, India. With his hands on his waist, he beckons his devotees to cross over the river of samsara maya. As for them who keep him in sight, the waters are only waist deep. As for others, they are likely to get swept away in the powerful current of Maya. Pramanam bhavabdheridam mamakanam nitambah karabhyam dhruto yena tasmat. Panduranga Ashtakam, 3rd verse. The fish seeker that take refuge at the feet of the fisherman, the Lord, does not get caught in the fishing net of Maya. God is the embodiment of Dharma. So those who live a righteous life are just and law abiding, live with harmony, love and compassion. In short, a life of Dharma. They invoke God's grace and are freed from the bondage of Maya. It is therefore said that the source of happiness is the following of Dharma. Sukhasya moolam dharmaha. Chanakya Sutra 1. Devotion, Bhakti. A man falls prey easily to the lure of a woman, whereas another woman is not attracted and understands well the ways of the temptress. The seeker, armed only with intellectual knowledge, Jnana, is likely to get trapped in the spell of Maya, whereas one with bhakti, devotion for the Lord, is unaffected by Maya and takes the seeker directly to the portals of the Lord. Devotees like Mirabai, even though a queen was unaffected by the pleasures of her palatial life, it is said that she finally merged with the Lord. Saints Sajjana, those who have themselves crossed over Maya, understand the pains that they have gone through. They, out of sheer compassion, guide others who are lost in the maze of Maya. Adi Shankaracharya says, there are peaceful and magnanimous saints who, like the spring season, live for the good of humanity. They have crossed over the dreadful ocean of finitude with their own efforts and with no ulterior motive. They also help others to cross over. शान्तामहान्तो निवसन्ति सन्तो वसन्तवल्लोकहितं चरन्तः तीर्णाः स्वयं भीमभवार्णवं जनान् हेतुनान्यानपि तारयन्तः. Vivek Chudamani 37. Indra's son Jayanta had taken a form of a bird. Out of arrogance, he tried to test the lordship of Lord Sri Rama and bit Sita. The Lord invoked the powerful, destructive, divine weapon Brahmastra in a blade of grass and sent it behind Jayanta. Terrified by his imminent death, Jayanta ran from pillar to post, pursued by the Brahmastra. When he met Saint Narada, he was guided to seek refuge at the feet of the Lord, whom he had offended. The compassionate Lord saved him from his divine weapon symbolizing Maya. Purpose of the universe, Jagat Prayojanam. All possible questions that we have fall under three categories regarding I, the experiencer of the world, God, the creator of the world, and the experienced, that is the created world. The Guru answered some fundamental questions regarding I, the individual, section 4, and God, the creator, section 5. Now the disciple asks questions regarding this fantastic, fascinating, and vast universe. Shishya uvacha prayojanam swarupam kim jagatascha jagadguru idam rupena yajnatam taccha sarvam jagat bhavet. What is this world and what is its purpose? So asks the disciple to the Guru. All that which is known as this, known objectively, is the world. Universal questions. The disciple asks two fundamental questions. What is this universe and what is its purpose? Scientists from the past, the world over, have been asking the first question and doing research to get answers. Their answers about different aspects of the universe and the laws governing it have only raised more questions. Our knowledge so far has not yet scratched the surface of the question, what is this universe? Rarely do people ask the question, what is the purpose of the world? More commonly, they ask, Why did God create the world? And that too only when they are unhappy. When everything is going on well, we are too busy enjoying to ask any questions. When our life is a mess, when we suffer or fail, then we ask, why is there suffering in the world? If God created this world, should it not be perfect, without conflicts, confusions, and contradictions? Interestingly, when we are unhappy or confused, we do not realize that they are created by us and conveniently blame it on God. What does Vedanta say regarding these questions? The Guru now answers the first question. This is the universe. In any knowledge, there exists I, the knower, and the object of knowledge indicated at this, the known. For example, this book I read. Anything and everything that can be objectified becomes the known in the past, present, and future by anyone in the universe. This naturally includes countless galaxies, the sun, moon, and stars, the mountains, rivers, and oceans, all fields of knowledge, everything from the macro to the microcosm. We always feel that the universe is outside us, but we fail to realize that our body too is known. This leg pains or heart aches. The mind too is known. My mind is sad, glad, bad, or mad. And so is the intellect. My understanding is clear or confused. Therefore, the body, mind, intellect that we generally consider as I is actually part of this universe. The body is an assemblage of organs, cells, skin, bones, and so on. Our one prisoner got his teeth extracted and then his tonsils, appendix, and kidney removed. It seems he was planning his escape part by part. One man who had his kidney, lung, and liver transplanted and bone and skin grafted wondered to whom the body actually belonged. Therefore, all that is this and my is part of the universe and is not I, the knower. I, the knower, different from the body, mind, intellect, never can be objectified as this or my, the known. It always remains the subject and therefore is not part of the universe. The changing universe. Everything that changes is the universe. The word Jagat, meaning world, itself means that which is born, Jo Jayate, that which goes away or dies, Ga Gachati, and that which is between birth and death seems to stay momentarily, Ti Tishtati Iva. Time flies, space curves, stars are born, mountains shake, rivers flow, sun rotates, the moon circumambulates, oceans recede, cities grow, population implodes, fashions change, standard of living improves, values diminish, everything changes. Our body too changes from fat to trim, and our mind changes from glad to grim. The world is born to die and dies to be born again. जायते मृतये लोको म्रियते जननाय च. Yoga Vasishtha 1.12.7. The only thing constant in the world is that the world is constantly changing. This is the nature of the world. Whether it is good or bad is left for us to decide. So, what is the purpose of this ever changing universe? The Guru answers कर्म कर्तुं फलं भोक्तुं क्षेत्रभूतं हि प्राणिनाम् ईशे समर्प्य कर्माणि चित्तशुद्धिं लभेन्नरः. The world is a field of experience for all beings to perform actions and experience the results. By dedicating these actions unto the Lord, one gains purity of mind. To the question, why creation? One person wisely said, God alone knows. After all, He is the one who created, so best to ask Him. Every activity needs a place, kshetra. A place to eat is called anna kshetra, and a holy place is called a tirtha kshetra. We need a tennis court to play tennis, and with no space, some play simulated tennis in their home TV. People stay in residential areas, work in office blocks, shop in malls, and relax in clubs. Creation is a place where all living beings throughout the ages can do any activity they are inclined to do. Kshetra also means a farmland, a place where you sow seeds and reap crops. Creation is a field where all living beings do actions, good, bad, or ugly, and reap the results accordingly. It is interesting that man wants the results of good actions, which is joy, but does not want to do good deeds. He also does not want the result of bad deeds, but he does them willfully. पुण्यस्य फलमिच्छन्ति पुण्यं यच्छन्ति मानवाः पापस्य तु न इच्छन्ति पापं कुर्वन्ति यत्नतः. For example, a person does not desire to be jailed, but he robs a bank, and desires to be healthy, but does not exercise. Young Nachiketa advises his father, mortal human beings are born, grow, and die, and are reborn again and again in the world, like crops in the field due to their actions. सस्यमिव मर्त्यः पच्यते सस्यमिवाजायते पुनः. Kathopanishad 1.1.6. Therefore, we should do actions which we will not later regret. This body itself is the result of past actions. It is also called kshetra. Idam shariram kaunteya kshetramityavidhiyate. Gita 13.2 or 1. It is also called kshetra as it is the place in which the individual jiva resides, and through it we perform actions and reap results. The Chinmaya mission, founded by Sri Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda, through its various activities, projects, and institutions and ashrams throughout the world, provides a field for people who desire to learn and serve. The entire world itself is the result of actions of all beings. We therefore see some countries through constructive collective efforts progressing, and some others through hatred and wars in chaos and distress. A father brings toys to entertain his 4 children. One plays happily with what he is given. whereas another cries and fights for his brother's toy. A third one breaks his, and the fourth one breaks everything else with his toy. The father wanted all to be happy, but each one reacted differently. Similarly, this world was created to make all the creatures live harmoniously and happily as one large family. Good actions result in conducive situations and joy. However, the right attitude in our good acts gives an added result. Whatever be our vocation or our field of activity, when we perform actions dedicated to God and receive the results as His gift, it results also in purity of the mind. This attitude of dedication to a noble cause whilst performing actions and receiving results with cheerful acceptance is called Karma Yoga. So the world is a place not just to perform actions and reap results, but to unite yoga as though our actions karma to God. What is the purpose of this world for a seeker who has gained purity of mind through his dedicated actions? And does God have his own personal agenda behind creating the universe? ब्रह्मरूपं जगत्पश्यन् मुक्तो विद्वान् भवेन्नरः जीवार्थं स्यात् प्रयोजनम् ईशार्थं न तु कर्हिचित्. Seeing the world as the truth Brahman, the wise man becomes liberated. Thus, the world has a purpose for the individual and not for the Lord. Liberation. Right actions done with the right attitude takes us closer to take us closer to God. Thereafter, self-knowledge makes us realize our essential oneness with God. This knowledge gives liberation and the seeker becomes the enlightened master. Thus, for him, to realize the very purpose of life is the very purpose of the world, both being attained through self-knowledge. Vision. Of the Master. With the realization, I am the infinite truth. Aham Brahmasmi. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad 1.4.10. He understands that the self or truth is the very cause of the universe, pervades the universe, and is still beyond the universe. Such a great and rare master then sees the universe as the non-dual self or truth. Vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha. Gita 7.19. His entire vision of the world changes. What seemed sorrow-filled is now experienced as blissful. A Jain master was walking with four disciples. The first said, "The mountain is mountain, the river is river." "True," said the master. The second said, "The mountain is not mountain, the river is not river." "True," said the master. The third said, "The mountain is mountain, the river is not river." "True," said the master. The fourth was confused. The master explained that the first disciple had a worldly vision, so what he saw alone was real to him. The second was a seeker who realized that the world is not what it seems to be. There is a truth behind it. The third disciple had realized the truth and therefore saw the truth alone projected as the world. Whatever is seen and heard inside and outside Everything is pervaded by the truth, Narayana alone. यत्किञ्चित् यच्च किञ्चित् जगत् सर्वं दृश्यते श्रूयते पिवा अन्तर्बहिश्च तत्सर्वं व्याप्य नारायणस्थितः नारायणसूक्तम्. Impersonal purpose. Someone said that God created this world for his recreation. Another said that he was bored and being with himself, so he desired to create. Desire is a sign of incompleteness. However, one who is full and complete, infinite by his very nature, has no desires whatsoever. आप्तकामस्य का स्पृहा मांडुक्यकारिका 1.9. Even the enlightened master has no desires. Then what to speak of the infinite Lord himself? Therefore the world serves no personal purpose for the Lord and has served its purpose for the enlightened master. Its purpose is only for the rest of us. Parents take their children to the circus and play games with them, not for their pleasure, but just to entertain the children. The Lord too reincarnates for the sake of his devotees. Also, when the evil forces are on the rise and the good forces have declined, in order to protect his devotees, destroy the evil forces, and establish the rule of righteousness, he reincarnates again and again in this world. परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे. Gita 4.8. Types of liberation. Mukti Prakara. Knowledge liberates. What exactly is liberation? All religions speak about liberation. Is the liberation of a Swami Vivekananda different from the nirvana of a Buddha? These are related questions are answered in this section. These and related questions are answered in this section. शृणुमुक्तिप्रकारं तं यथा प्रोक्तं विचिन्तकैः कर्मोपासना प्राप्तव्य स्वर्गो लोकश्च ब्रह्मणः. Now listen to the types of liberation as told by wise people. Heaven and the abode of Brahmaloka, is gained through actions, karma and worship, upasana, respectively. Liberation presupposes bondage. One who feels unhappy and limited wants to free himself from them. None wants freedom from happiness, only from sorrow. Our concept of liberation depends on what we consider ourselves to be. The body. For those who consider themselves to be the body, death is liberation, and there is nothing else beyond death. The philosophy of such people, Charvak, is to eat, drink, and be merry. Give as much comfort and pleasure to the body and live as long as possible and die when we are too sick or too old to enjoy. Those who commit suicide also feel that death of the body is the only way to end sorrows. The soul, Jiva. For those who consider themselves to be the transmigrating individual going to higher realms, heaven, and so on, is considered as liberation. It is said that in heaven there is no fear of old age, disease, and death, no pangs of hunger and thirst, nor mental sorrows and delusions. सर्गे लोके न भयं किञ्चनास्ति न तत्र त्वं न जरया बिभेति उभे तीर्त्वा शनाया विभासे शोकातिगो मोदते स्वर्गलोके. Kathopanishad 1.1.12. One enjoys heavenly pleasures with a heavenly abode body. One person was asked how he felt in heaven. Heavenly, he replied. Therefore, for them, freedom from earthly sorrows and attainment of higher pleasures is liberation. A couple were enjoying a great feast in heaven. The husband told the wife, "See what we could have enjoyed earlier if you had not insisted that we ate all that healthy, unappetizing food." Happily ever after. All fairy stories end with "they lived happily ever after." Our heavenly stay would seem to have a fairy story ending, but that is not so. Some religions say that our stay in heaven is eternal, but the Vedas do not consider either the heavens or our stay in heaven permanent. What is created gets destroyed. Heavens are created and therefore get destroyed in time. Our vacation in the Caribbean islands lasts as long as our cash and credit remains. Once we run out of money, we have to return to our mundane existence. Similarly, heavens are attained due to accumulated merits. Once they are over, we have to return to our earthly existence. The happiest Chine Punye Martelokam Vishanti. Gita 9.21. The happiest hereafter. Not only are there many realms with higher standard of living than the earth, but there are also many heavens with subtler existence and enjoyments. How does one get there will naturally be our next question. Nothing comes for free. The Vedas elaborately describe the deeds we need to go to those different realms. Through merits gained as a result of social work and such other good deeds on earth, we go to the realms of men's Pitraloka. Merits due to the performance of various rituals, karma, gives us visa to different realms up to heaven. Merits collected through rituals combined with certain meditations, upasana, give us entry into higher and higher heavens, and merits accumulated as a result of highest form of meditation results in the highest and the subtlest realm of experience, Brahmaloka. One remains in Brahmaloka till the dissolution of this creation, and Lord Brahma at that time gives us self-knowledge, which gives us final liberation, Parama Mukti. Besides heaven and other realms described above, are there any abodes with subtler joys? And how does one get there? Would that also be called liberation? Prasadat sveshtadevasya salokyam cha samepata sarupyam sarti sayujye muktim prahur manishanaha. By the blessings of one's beloved form of God, one can attain either of four types of liberation: going to the abode of God, Salokya; attaining closeness to Him, Samipya; attaining his form Sarupya and attaining his powers Sarshti, or union with him Sayujya. This, according to some wise men, is liberation. God's own land. God is one but has many forms. Each form of the Lord has its own abode where he lives in his full glory. For example, Vishnu lives in Vaikuntha, Shiva in Kailas, Shri Krishna in Gokul, always Golok, and Shri Rama in Saket. When needed, they incarnate on earth and return back to their heavenly abode when the work is done. Devotees who worship a particular form of Lord dear to them, Ishtadeva, naturally always wish to be with him. For them to actually be with the Lord after death is liberation. Such liberation is also of five types and is attained only by the grace of God. Each in sequence is a higher form of liberation than the other. Salokya Mukti. It is to attain to the heavenly abode of the Lord. For example, a devotee of Vishnu gets to go Vaikuntha when he dies. Samipya Mukti. It is a greater privilege to be living close to Prime Minister's home. For example, if your address in London has Downing Street, it would be a matter of high prestige. Similarly, some devotees not only attend the heavenly abode of the Lord, but live in closer proximity to Him. Sarupya Mukti. Some devotees not only attend the heavenly abode, live in proximity, but are also his attendants and have the same form as the Lord's. For example, Jaya and Vijaya look like Lord Vishnu and are his close attendants, Parshadas. Then, how does one recognizes who is the Lord? If his attendants too look like him. His consort Lakshmi is always with the Lord, and he also bears divine signs on his body like the Kaustubhamani. Sarshti Mukti. Not only are these devotees in proximity with Lord in his heavenly abode, but they also have many of Lord's powers. Then, how does one recognize who is the Lord and not the devotee? The Lord gives the powers so he can take them back also. The devotees also do not have the power to create, sustain, and dissolve the universe. Thank God. Or else there would be a real power struggle in God's own land. Also, there are great devotees of the Lord, and therefore they live by His command and do not misuse the powers. Sayujya Mukti. Some devotees do not wish to attain the Lord's abode or maintain a separate identity. They, like Mirabai, wish to merge themselves with the God, Lord. Earth above heaven. There are devotees who, even though are given a chance to go to the Lord's heavenly abode, choose to stay back and be born again on earth. Hanuman chose not to go to Saket and revel in listening to Sri Rama's stories, Ramagatha, on earth. Saint Narasimha Mehta sings, devotion on earth is greater and its joy subtler than even in Brahmaloka. Therefore, devotees of Lord Vishnu do not ask for liberation, but wish to be born again and again, so that they can always serve the Lord, sing His glories, celebrate and see Him when He incarnates, and participate in His divine sports. भूतल भक्ति पदार्थ मोटू ब्रह्मलोक माना ही रे हरि न जन तो मुक्ति न मांगे मांगे जन्मो जन्म अवतार रे नित सेवा नित उत्सव निरखवा नंद कुमार रे. When the Lord incarnates, एक नरसिंह मेहता. When the Lord incarnates on earth, many of His devotees come along with Him. Also, many of His devotees who live in His heavenly abode are sent by the Lord from time to time on earth for spiritual revival, and they live as saints, inspiring all with their life, work, and teachings about the Lord. The previous verse spoke of liberation according to the path of devotion. The next verse gives us the Vedantic view of liberation. हित्वा स्वजीव भावं या ब्रह्मात्मना हि संस्थितिः जीवन मुक्तिर्विदेहा च सर्ववेदांत निश्चयः. Having renounced the notion of one's individuality, the state of oneness between the self and the ultimate reality is called liberation while living Jivan Mukti, and also liberation without a body, Videha Mukti. This is the firm position of all Vedantic teachings. The Vedantic view of liberation is already spoken of in the previous sections. It is now being defined again in order to clarify any lingering doubts. The final liberation, freedom from earthly limitations through death or by reaching higher realms of existence after death, was said to be liberation in previous verses. However, one who dies is reborn. One who goes to higher realms has to return. One who is finite is never truly happy. Therefore, Vedanta speaks of liberation as the end of all limitations, the freedom from the cycle of birth and death, and attaining which there is no going or coming or doing or redoing. It is to end the false identity as a finite individual, Jiva Bhav, and to know and be the infinite truth, self Brahman, Brahmasthiti. It is not a state to be attained after death, but to be liberated whilst living Jivan Mukti. The enlightened master knows that he is not the body, even whilst living. When the wind stills, it is called the air. Similarly, the enlightened master attains liberation without body, Videha Mukti, when the body dies. Bliss of liberation. Jivan Mukta Ananda. We have all experienced joy, wonderment, glee, rapture, euphoria, jubilation, and ecstasy in our life. In the bliss of liberation, different and comparable to our experiences of joy. The Guru now indicates what an enlightened master experiences. Havu 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 ha samagayati brahmatnyah naho svatmanah. The knower of truth sings the Sam mantras. Ha, hu, ha, hu, ha, hu. Thus he expresses the supreme bliss of his own self. Expressing bliss. When we are overjoyed, we express it with spontaneous sounds like wow, ah, or oof. Or we may throw up our arms, shout, clap our hands, jump around, dance wildly, or sing tunelessly. The dance is not to set rhythm, nor is a song lyrical. This joy expresses irresistibly, whether we are alone or with people. The enlightened master's joy knows no bounds and cannot be contained. It overflows as song and sounds of joy. Revealing bliss. The Ruk, Yajur, and Sam mantras are in prose, poetry, and song respectively. The enlightened master's joy expresses as the singing of the Sama mantras. The truth or self is faultless and the same Sama. Nirdosham hi samam Brahma. Gita 5.19. The enlightened master experiences that I am supreme truth which is the same in all. Samoham sarvabhuteshu 9.29. He reveals that truth and the infinite joy of that truth, Brahmananda. Wonderstruck with bliss, knowing that he is the ever blissful self, the enlightened master wonders how he could ever have been miserable before. He sees the self as the wonder and speaks of it as a wonder. आश्चर्यवत् पश्यति कश्चिदेनम् आश्चर्यवत् वदति तथैव चान्यः. Gita 2.29. Others look upon him in wonder and he revels in wondrous bliss. What is so different about his joy? Inner bliss. We experience joy when we get something we desire, when everything is conducive and everyone is amenable, and when our senses come in contact with what they like or love. For example, I get my dream job. My office room is huge with a wonderful view. My new secretary is very pleasant and efficient, and she makes the best coffee I have tasted. These joys are on account of objects, beings, and situations. In all joys that are dependent on external things, the law of diminishing returns works. The 10th bar of chocolate does not give as much joy as the first one. The joy of the enlightened master does not depend on any object, being or situation outside, nor the condition of his own body or mind. It is the joy of one's own self, truth, and therefore it neither increases or decreases, nor comes and goes, but is homogeneous, ekarasa, and permanent. Unexhaled bliss. When we think of something we like, we feel good, priya. When we see it, we feel happy, moda, and when we get it, we feel overjoyed, pramoda. Sometimes we are in seventh heaven and feel happy beyond words. But alas, these joyful objects, moments, and moods do not last and themselves become cause for sorrow and cravings. The bliss of the self is very different. There is no joy like it. or equal to it, then where is the question of joy greater than it? We feel happy when today's to do list is done. However, the next day a new list awaits us. The enlightened master has completed all that he has to do, achieved the very goal of life, and is therefore totally and perpetually satisfied and happy. If he has nothing left to do, then what does the enlightened master do and how does he live? आत्मक्रीडस्वात्मरतिर्जीवन्मुक्तः सदा सुखी पुण्या पुण्या विनिर्मुक्तो सर्वानन्दकरो यतिः. The liberated one sports and revels in the self, ever happy. He is free from merits and sins, and he becomes the giver of joy to all. Happy home. A person is interested in roaming around pointlessly if he is happy at home. A person is uninterested in roaming around pointlessly if he is happy at home. The enlightened master may outwardly seem to be meditating or enjoying alone or with people, but he is always rejoicing within, as his mind is always in the blissful self, his true home. योगरतो वा भोगरतो वा सङ्गरतो वा सङ्गविहीनः यस्य ब्रह्मणि रमते चित्तं नन्दति नन्दति नन्दत्येव. भज गोविंदम 19. We need a ball to play football and a ball and a bat to play cricket. Some play chess on the computer with a virtual partner. For any game, we need some external object. After enjoying a vacation for a few months, we revel in the memory of those fun times. The wise man does not need a sport to entertain him, nor a vacation to rejuvenate him, nor does he revel in memories of past joys, as he is ever in the bliss of the self every moment. Sinless home. The doer of action, karta. What happened? Excellent. Sinless home. The doer of actions, karta, alone becomes the enjoyer of results, bhokta. The result of meritorious deeds, punya, is joy, and the result of sinful acts, papa, are sorrows. The pure self, truth, is neither the doer nor the enjoyer. Remaining as the pure self, the enlightened master is untouched by merits or sins, notions of good or bad, right or wrong, and unaffected by worldly joys and sorrows. Sharing home, being in himself, enjoying by himself, seems to be very selfish. The enlightened master is certainly not so. You give what you have. The very presence of the ever blissful wise man gives joy to all. The waters of the ocean are available to all. Each one takes as much as the container they carry. The wise man revels in the ocean of bliss within. He teaches one who seeks knowledge, entertains those who seek entertainment, and gives peace to those who seek peace. Pujya Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda would say, "Loot me, take whatever you can, as much as you can." The next verse describes the glory of the enlightened master. नैव कुर्वन् न कारयन् कार्यं साध्नोति सर्वदा आश्चर्यं न हि किमेतत् पश्यत्वं बुधवैभवम्. Neither doing nor prompting others to do, he always accomplishes tasks. Is this not a wonder? See the glory of the enlightened one, accomplished without doing. Some plan out their work and accomplish, others plan as they go along, and some work in chaos yet accomplish. Some work hard to meet deadlines, and some may make others work hard to accomplish their work. As nothing is gained by doing nothing, everyone is busy doing something. The glory of the wise man is that he neither does nor prompts others to do anything, yet accomplishes everything. How is that possible? Since he is totally egoless and desireless, so the Almighty Lord functions through him, and what cannot be achieved by the Lord? We therefore see miracles happening in the presence of the enlightened Master. His very thoughts become facts, words spoken casually become truths, and his wishes for anyone becomes accomplished. Therefore, people with worldly desires worship him. यं यं लोकं मनसा संविभाति विशुद्धसत्त्वः कामयते यांश्च कामान् तं तं लोकं जयते तांश्च कामांस्तस्मादात्मज्ञं यर्चयेत् भूतिकामः. मुंडकोपनिषद 3.1.10. Those who without any worldly desires worship him attain knowledge and themselves get liberated. Upasate purusham yeha kamaste shukrametadathivartanti dhiraha. Mundukopanishad 3.2.1. Doing yet not doing. We see some great masters like Gurudev, Swami Chinmayananda, ever engaged in doing good works and building great organizations, since all their actions are egoless and desireless. Their accomplishments are also the will of the Almighty Lord alone. Yasya sarve samarambha kama sankalpa varjitaha. They ever remain as the self, which is neither the doer of action nor the enjoyer of results. Thus, the glory of the enlightened Master is that doing everything, he does nothing, and doing nothing, he accomplishes everything. कर्मण्यकर्म यः पश्येद कर्मणि च कर्म यः स बुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु स युक्तः कृत्स्नकर्मकृत्. Gita 4.18. Gratitude. Kritadnyata. Everyone likes a happy ending. So what happened to the seeker who went to the Guru's ashram, asked questions and received answers? Did he accomplish the goal of his life? The disciple expresses his feelings thus. Shishya uvacha धन्योऽहं कृतकृत्योऽहं प्रसादात् तव हे गुरो भावये पद्मयुग्मन्ते सततं हृदि कोमलम्. The disciple said, O Guru, due to your grace, I am blessed, I am fulfilled. I shall always meditate upon your soft, holy lotus feet in my heart. Mission accomplished. This is indeed a happy ending. The disciple not only heard and reflected on the knowledge, but he too realized the self or truth. He therefore feels truly blessed, dhanya, and totally fulfilled, kritakritya, as he too revels in the blissful self. Thanksgiving. It is seen that man generally is ungrateful and forgets the means when he reaches the goal. He does not look back at the vehicle after reaching his destination, the teacher after he graduates, and the doctor after he is cured. After his 5 minutes procedures, a reluctant patient asked the doctor how much he should pay for removing the bone stuck in his throat. The doctor said, You can pay me half the amount you were willing to pay when the bone was stuck in your throat. Gratitude is indeed a rare virtue. However, a disciple feels only overwhelming gratitude and devotion towards his guru when he attains the very goal of his life. When he looks back on what he was when he came to the Guru's ashram and what he experiences now, his heart is filled with gratitude. This total transformation, this most difficult accomplishment, the attainment of the subtlest truth, this rarest of rare achievement was possible only and only through the grace of the Guru. His loving guidance, inspiring presence, and great teaching made the impossible possible. The disciple's heart melts with devotion and gratitude, which he finds difficult to express. He promises to meditate and worship the Guru's holy feet, the truth that the Guru stands upon. At the end of the teaching, Arjun too says, My delusion has been destroyed. I remember who I am. This doubtless knowledge was accomplished by only by your grace. Now I shall do what you say. I will live by your will. Nashto moha smritirlabdha त्वत्प्रसादान्मयाच्युत सिदोऽस्मि गतसन्देहः करिष्ये वचनं तव. Gita 18.73. The Guru responds by blessing the disciple. Guru Prasada. Guru Vacha तव भक्त्या प्रसन्नोऽहं यथा ज्ञानं गृहीतवान् ब्रह्मनिष्ठस्वदैव त्वं पराभक्तियुतो भव. The Guru said, I am pleased with your devotion and the way you have grasped the knowledge. Now may you remain ever established in the truth and have supreme devotion for God. The Guru is pleased with the disciple. Not only did he grasp the subtle truth as was taught, but also reflected, meditated, and realized the truth as his own self. The Guru is also pleased at the gratitude and devotion expressed by the disciple. He therefore blesses the disciple that he remain ever established in the truth and that he revel in supreme devotion to God. The final verse is a dedication of the text by the author. अयं सुबोधवेदान्तः गुरुदेवाशिषाकृतः समर्पयेतं तेभ्यो हि प्रसन्नाः सन्तु ते मयि. This work, Subodh Vedanta, was completed through the blessings of Sri Gurudev and God. I dedicate it to them. May they be ever pleased with me. Gratitude. This composition started with invoking the grace of Lord Ganesh, Goddess Saraswati, Gurudev, and Lord Sri Ram with Sita. The fact that the composition got completed itself shows that the words flowed and the thoughts got expressed clearly by their grace. This gave me ample opportunity to reflect on the Vedantic scriptures, express my creative urge, and simplify Vedanta for others. Dedication. I dedicate Subodh Vedanta to those by whose grace it got composed. Prayer. Usually at the end of the ritualistic worship puja, we say, May the Lord, who is the self of all, and the Guru be pleased with this act of worship done by me. अनेन मया कृतेन आराधनेन भगवान् सर्वात्मकः प्रीयताम् सद्गुरुश्च प्रीयताम्. I do not seek anything worldly from God and Guru. May their grace be always on me, and may they always be pleased with me. When God and Guru are pleased, my life is fulfilled. May the grace of God and blessing of Gurudev be on all our efforts to study, reflect, and meditate on Vedanta. Om Tat Sat. In this way, we finish this beautiful composition of Param Poojya Guruji, Swami Tejomayananda ji. We offer this study at his feet. Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi